This is TW Battles doing online commentary for Napoleon Total War. I am playing Great Britain and my opponent is Prussia. Let's take a look at my army here. 6-pounder horse artillery, fencibles, dragoons, some light dragoons, 2 more units of fencibles, add 2 more to that, 3 units of King's German Legion light foot, some Highland foot, general staff, about 6 more foot units, some foot guards, light dragoons, some light foot, some light dragoons, and a 5-inch howitzer. Let's take a look at my opponent, Prussia. 7-pounder howitzer, hussars, Jaegers, Landwehr, some more Jaegers, about 6 to 7 units of musketeers, general staff, grenadiers, foot guards, pounder foot artillery, cuirassiers, some Prussian fusiliers, and some lancers. Fast forwarding here as the battle takes place. Here's the Prussian hussars slamming into my left flank to my foot unit. And my foot unit is more of an elite unit, so they're going to do a pretty good job in melee here. Should be able to chase these cavalry units away. See there, I still got some pretty good numbers. I only lost about 24 guys on that initial charge. And here's my rifles unit, firing on some of those advancing Prussian units. Here's a Landwehr unit all the way on my left flank. They're a basic militia unit, so they're not going to be too strong. So yeah, my light dragoons protecting my flank there. I usually like to keep my cavalry around my flank so they can protect my flanks and also quickly skirt around the side to attack infantry or to attack artillery. And you can see here that Hussars unit for the Prussians has just about routed. You can see here the Lancers rushing headlong into my Highland foot unit. And my Highland foot, they're basically a little better than a regular line unit. They look pretty elite. They're doing a pretty good job against these Lancers. These Lancers have a really good initial charge bonus, but once they get locked into melee for a while, they're not as effective. If I had to do this all over again, I probably wouldn't have put just Fencibles unit on my right flank, but basically I think I have 2 to 3 units of Fencibles protecting my right flank, and they're a pretty basic militia unit, but fortunately I do have some very strong units next to them, the King's German foot units, so they're very strong, so they can help these Fencibles out if need be. See those nice puffs of smoke there? Very glorious. At some point I'm going to have to reinstall my blood mod. I think at some point I had to uninstall that with the new patch for Napoleon. See some of my Fencibles getting some shots at the advancing Prussians. You can see I have a pretty nice line set up here all the way across the battlefield. It's kind of a very lazy V shape, which I usually like to use something similar to that because it kind of pinches the army in and allows me to collapse in the flanks. You can see I moved that Highland foot unit because they were basically firing into a building right there and they weren't too effective. So there's my dragoons, and I must have been managing another part of the battlefield and kind of left them there to get slaughtered by that Prussian unit firing behind them, so bad micro on my part. Here's my 5-inch howitzer unit. They're firing on the enemy from just about the start of the battle. And for some reason they're firing across the battlefield to the other side of the battlefield, but they must be trained on a unit that moved at some point. They were probably trained on a cavalry unit that moved and made its way across the battlefield. You can see here I'm doing a good job on my right flank. I've brought my light dragoons in here to chase down some of these routing Landwehr units. I'm going to try and chase those guys down and kill as many as I can before they're able to reform. You see the 7-pounder howitzer unit there. I'm going to skirt my light dragoons that just got done with the Landwehr and have them attack that artillery, and that will take out one of the 2 units of artillery that the Prussians have. And you can see my light dragoons are going to charge over this hill, and pretty soon they're going to attack that artillery. You can see that artillery is firing on my guys right now, so I try to take out artillery as early as I possibly can in battles, because they can do a lot of damage. So the quicker you can take them out, the less damage they're going to be able to do to your infantry. Here they are, nice glorious charge, and the Prussians never saw it coming. So here come my guys, and for some reason this is in slow motion. I don't know why it did that. Maybe my computer's lagging a little bit, but I'm not messing with the motion buttons at all. Okay, so you can see here on my left center, the Prussians are concentrating a lot of their forces. And I really love their uniforms, the blue with the white. They look very cool. It's a very cool combination, the red against the blue. It really allows units to stand out against each other, and it just looks cool. So I have some of my fencibles in here. I brought my light dragoons in to kind of help out. I'll often do that if one of my meleeing units is losing. I'll often bring in a cavalry unit, kind of rush them in to help plug the hole, to help bolster their morale. And you can see my other fencibles unit is involved in a melee here as well. The one advantage they have here is they're fighting downhill a little bit, so that's certainly going to help them out. But fencibles aren't going to win many melee battles against anybody unless it's against another militia unit. Okay, you can see here I rushed in my dragoons. I was feeling pretty weak right there. My King's German Legion foot had their hands full in the center here, facing 2 Prussian units. So again, I brought my dragoons in to help plug this hole, and you can see gave a little morale boost to my infantry there. Here's my Highland foot firing on some of those Prussian units over there. You can see the musketeers across the battlefield there, some percussion shock. And slowly I'm bringing up my foot unit, and these are some of my fresher units in my right center. You can see I've pretty much decimated the Prussian right, and most of all the units they have over there are routing. So I'm going to start bringing some of those units, pinch them in towards the center of the battlefield so they can help out in the center and on my right. There's the general staff for the Prussians, trying to root their guys on, give them a little morale boost. And the general staff's going to get involved in the fray here. You can see them charging into my lines over there. They really need it. That Prussian unit is faltering, so I guess the general staff for the Prussians is sensing that they're losing this battle, and they better do something quick to try and help their cause. So I'm on the general staff in there. I see my guys doing an admirable job of holding them off. There's some great melee action in the middle there. It's just really awesome. It's one of the things I love about these Total War games is these big melee fights. You see my fencible unit had routed earlier, and they were able to get back into the fight. You can see all the dead bodies over here. That's just a major fracas that was going on there for most of the battle. So a lot of these units didn't make it out alive. You can see my rifles unit all the way on my flank is meleeing with a Prussian unit, and they're not really a good unit at all to be in a melee fight. But you can see right there I killed the enemy general. There's my indication, and that was from them charging their general's unit into that infantry fracas in the center. Okay, there's a fencibles unit that had routed earlier that's come back to fight another day, and they're for some reason slowly marching into an onslaught of Prussian fire, and they're quickly going to rout again. Here's another one of my fencibles units that I believe routed earlier, even though they were still 2/3 strength. and I'm going to go ahead and bring them into a melee fight. And once I saw I was winning on the right center there in that melee fight, I decided instead to avert these those fencibles over to my extreme right flank because I was having some difficulties over there. And you can see here's pretty much the end of the battle. I was winning on everything but the right. I was able to overtake the Prussians on my right flank, and here's my final infantry charge. You can see these guys here are getting beat up by this Prussian artillery unit, but my guys in their defense did sprint all the way across the battlefield up a hill to get to this unit, so they're pretty exhausted by the time they get here, but the sheer numbers of my guys here are just going to overwhelm the Prussians, and you can see the results there. Pretty one-sided victory on my part, and I hope you enjoyed this battle.